Had a great weekend this weekend. Everything's beautiful. Happy 4th of July. We didn't get to see each other on Friday or talk, but I hope all you motherfuckers had a happy 4th. Hopefully you got all your fingers. I know a lot of motherfuckers are walking around with 8 fingers today in the story. You know what I'm saying? A lot of motherfuckers walking around with 8 fingers. Couple guys are just elbowing it to death right now today. The fuse went too fast. You know what I'm saying? I've been there. I seen fingers flying. No biggie. No biggie. You'll be all right in about a year. By next 4th of July, you'll learn a new fucking drill. You'll learn how to throw it with the hook. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be fine. The hook always works. The firecracker goes farther when you use a hook. Josh Wolf, what did you see that the other night? Did you see the aerial footage of LA? Yeah. Like next time, just fucking tell people. Like, you can't make dick illegal now. Not right now. No. People are gonna blow us. There were bombs going off by my house. I woke up this morning, it was a leg in front of a little Iraqi leg in front of my house. I just threw it in the fucking garbage.
There were more fireworks in my neighborhood. But not like pop pop, like legitimate
God. At
fireworks.
I was in my office. I thought a bomb went off. I went and checked on my family. I'm like, you guys all right?
I will tell you though, July 5th is the best day. Today was the best fucking day to go on YouTube because all you see is drunk people fighting at barbecues, people holding on to firecracker for too long, and white dudes firing firecrackers out of their asshole. It's the fucking best day to be on YouTube. You see more dudes with bottle rockets propped up on a fucking chair. Yeah, today was the day to be on YouTube.
You know what else today? Last week I did a podcast. You ready for this one? About how it was my wife's and I 20th anniversary last Wednesday. But you know it's also what this week is? It's our 25th anniversary. We met July 2nd, 1995, this weekend in Seattle. In fact, it was the same setup because we did have an open mic Monday. The 4th of July was Saturday. And I went down to the underground. I looked in the window. I'm like, oh, my God, I rubbed the brick. I'm like, I'm finally here.
Yeah.
At the underground and shit. And then we had an open mic Monday. You came in with your hat, and I jumped right on your dog. What's up with the Boston hat?
Yeah.
I'm surrounded with all these people with yarmulkes on, whatever the fuck. But it's 25 fucking years. I know you now.
Holy shit!
I didn't want you to feel old, but fuck it.
My fucking God.
25 years. You came in on a Monday. You got to go back to Lobo Loco.
Yeah.
And then I think we finally Tuesday you hung out. This Tuesday you can hang out.
That is crazy.
25 years this week.
I had no idea it was this week.
Yeah, I got there like July. I did the triple run.
How soon, when you got there, how soon did you make it down to the underground? Like, how long had you been in Seattle? You got there and did a triple run?
Truth? You want the truth?
Yeah.
I did the triple run on a Saturday night. It had to be, I was in LaGrange, Oregon.
With Carol?
No, I was alone. See how far it is from LaGrange, Oregon to Seattle, Washington.
So you were by yourself.
I was by myself. My deal was to do a triple run to lead me to Seattle, to drop me off a few hours from Seattle.
Do you remember at all who you were doing that run with?
Some shitty fuck. Oh, no. I don't remember his name, but he was a really, really, really good guy. As a matter of fact, he lived in like Laguna Beach.
It's about 325 miles.
So 325 miles divided by 70 miles an hour is what?
5 hours.
5 hours? I think I did it in like 3 hours. Because she was getting out of work at the strip club at 2. And I beat her to her apartment. She left me a key under the mat.
Yeah.
And I went in and she came home from the strip club. So that was a Saturday night at 2.
Yeah.
I was at the underground the next day by lunchtime at attention.
Yeah, man.
You understand me?
Yep.
Like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's talking about going to Pike's Market.
Yeah.
I'm like, go fuck your mother in the ass. Let's go see the underground first. So we took like a fucking cab down to the underground. It was closed. It was lunchtime. I was like, fucking, I rubbed the brick. I could tell that there was a bar. Like, I was like,
the bar upstairs.
What the fuck is this? This is not what was told.
And
to me.
how had you heard about the open mic on Monday? Did you ask somebody at Swanee's? Because there wasn't like an internet you were looking it
It
up.
was closed that Saturday.
Yeah.
And it was closed that Sunday for the 4th of July weekend.
Got it.
So I called like Monday, and Ron Reed called back, and he's like, "Oh, tonight's the open mic." Because Rick Kearns gave me the
Do you remember?
Rick Kearns gave me he goes, "When you go up there, tell Ron Reed you're a friend of mine. Tell Fox you're a friend of mine." So I called Ron Reed, and Ron Reed just said, "Go down to the thing and sign up." Carl was there.
The best.
He put me up like number 1 because they always put you up first. The first night you went,
Yeah.
you went up first. Whoever hosted got $50.
Yep.
$50. How much is $50 back then? To
A
you?
lot.
When you hosted on a Monday and you got $50,
Come on, man.
and then my girl had the contest in Tacoma.
Oh yeah.
Susan Jones.
Yeah.
Did the fucking thing in Tacoma.
Yeah.
That's how we made a living. Mondays was our big living.
Yep.
If you won the contest, you won a yardstick, and you'd come back the following Monday and host.
But also, you know what else we did a bunch up there was we would find one-nighters that we knew weren't gonna last, but for like 2 or 3 months you got a paycheck to host or whatever. You know what I mean? Like we must have. I personally must have started and failed
15 rooms.
at least,
15
right?
rooms.
I mean, so
15
fucking
rooms.
many, so many.
They lose, but like I still remember you taking me to an we used to do. It was pretty much the same shit. Monday, Tuesday was the underground.
Yep.
Wednesday was a Laura Crocker gig, one of those gigs.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday we crashed somebody's. Well, no. Wednesday we still had the underground because Wednesdays it was still somebody's night.
Yep.
So if Lee Syed had a night, sorry Lee, we're coming down.
Yeah,
We're coming down.
We did a lot of people's
Yeah.
nights on Wednesdays.
We're coming down on Wednesday night.
Did
Don't
you-
worry about nothing.
Did any of those guys let you tour with them up there? Who took you out on the road?
Vince Valenzuela. So I got there on a Monday. All right.
Yeah.
I got there on a Saturday. This is how I tell people. Like I tell people, like, listen, when you're dealing with me, you're dealing with the wrong guy. Like if you come to me and tell me your story, you're dealing with the wrong guy because you're not going to stop me.
Yeah.
So I got there on a Saturday at 2 a.m. I was at the underground at 12 the next day, which is the Lord's Day, and it was closed.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
You want to talk about love for comedy. And then I was back there Monday. The open mic started at 8. I was there at 7. At attention. Like
Yeah.
a fucking, like I was about to go on in Madison Square Garden. I went up there and he told me come back tomorrow night. Then I came back the next night. And then Wednesday, somebody turned me on to something somewhere in Ballard.
Yeah, Wednesdays
Ballard
were
had the
also
pizza.
those were the nights that we would find a place just to fucking. If you give us
torture.
$150, we'll put up 15 comics, or we'll put up 4 comics, whatever we can put
And
together.
then, you ready for this? That Thursday, I already got a call. I'm going to remind you of another story that you're going to, so all these people at home could remember. That Thursday, I already had a call from John Fox. You're working Friday and Saturday in Idaho at that fucking
Moscow,
Idaho. And you know who the headliner was?
wait,
Vince Valenzuela.
get out.
And he treated me like a gentleman.
He was a
Till
good
this
dude.
day, he's a good
Good dude.
He's on Facebook.
Yeah,
I sent him a message a while ago. He didn't hit me back, so I don't know if he does comedy anymore.
he does.
He's a great. He
Good
was
guy.
a brother to me. on the
super
road.
nice guy.
You did that gig for $50,
Well,
$75, and he mailed you a check
Yeah.
a month later. A month
That
fucking
was the
later.
worst, yeah.
You had to drive back from there, hungover as fuck, because they would send you up prairie farts,
Yeah.
which is tequila with Tabasco sauce in them.
yeah,
I remember still seeing the New England Patriot quarterback at the airport,
Drew Bledsoe,
Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah.
He went to that school.
Washington State.
Washington State, so it was fucking crazy.
Because Moscow is right across the line from Washington. So Washington State and what's in Moscow is what? University of Idaho, maybe, something like that. But so they're right next to each other. So yeah, those Washington State guys
So
came
I
through all
got
the time.
work before the first week. I already featured for Vince Valenzuela. Like I drove home on fucking Saturday going like, wow.
Now-
like it's that easy. Like I just came up here
Yeah.
and bitch slapped motherfuckers into a first week of work. That's fucking crazy.
Okay.
Then me and him were eating lunch. I was eating free lunch at his bar one day. About 3 or 4 weeks later, I'm eating fucking the chicken mole. That was tremendous.
Oh, that dude made the best chicken mole.
Who the fuck you think you're dealing with?
Shit!
And I would just leave him a tip. He would give me like a check, and I would like push it away. Like,
and his brother with the fake eye because he got stabbed in it.
Yeah, you can't write
Those
this shit.
Dude made some great fucking food.
I'm up there with him. Do you still remember when Homeboy walked in and started a fight with me? You don't remember that fight that day? Because I went up there with fucking roller skates on. Like, I was in no mood. I just came from Denver.
No.
You still remember what?
Yeah.
I just came from fucking Denver where there's no action, where I would drive to fucking Wyoming to do an open mic. You got the wrong motherfucker. You got the wrong guy. I would drive to Wyoming on Thursday nights to do an open mic. So stop with your bullshit. So right after that, I fucking went on a tear because then Alberto gave me work. The following week, the Cuban guy at the old Improv. The Improv had closed in Seattle.
That was right across from Pike's
across from Pike's Market.
Yep.
And then we were going to bar downstairs across the street.
Oh, fuck.
Come on. Who the fuck you think you're
That was the old Improv Theater, I think.
The club was the Improv Theater. Out there, that's where Steve McGrew got mugged.
Yeah.
So it was a theater. That was the Improv. Across the street from Pike's Peak is Deja Vu.
Oh, yeah.
50 ugly girls and one fat one. Whatever. And then across the street from that is Pike's Market in those days.
Yeah.
And across the street from Pike's Market, on the side, was a little bar we used to go to on the side. You could sneak in. It was a white people bar. But Rod Long used to take us.
Yeah.
Rod Long used to take us. Was a light-skinned brother married to a white chick.
Good dude, Rod Long.
I just talked to him a couple weeks ago.
Really good dude.
Every time I see him, I call my wife, I call him Zombo. But I call my daughter Zombo.
But he was
like,
good to you up there too.
Rod Long was my brother.
Really
that
good.
That was one of the headliners.
Yeah, man, he was.
He was like Rogan.
Yeah,
he was like, "Bring it, bitch."
Yeah, he was good to you.
He was like, "Bring it. You're gonna go up there and throw heat. Bring it, because I want to follow you."
He was a really solid guy.
I still leave him messages. Eddie, what do you think of Zombo? And he'll call me back, Joe Diaz. What the fuck is wrong with you, Joe Diaz?
Yeah, man, he was a good guy. Who was the first person?
He used to have an Altoid can.
Yeah.
Filled with the best weed.
Yeah.
That was grown in
He had good weed.
Every time he'd show up, and he treated it like a pot of gold. It was an Altoid can that he'd fill up with weed that was just, I remember trying to steal a bud from him one time. He's like, Joe Diaz, don't think about it. The most important thing is I know you 20 years, and you've had a lot of success in L.A., but now you got the thing you came here for.
Yeah, my own talk show.
You got yourself a little talk show. Just run me through and we'll get you out of here.
Well, it's something I've always wanted to have, my own talk show, right? And this is it's gonna be on CMT, which is perfect for me, because they're trying to branch out and make it more of a middle of America programming. And it's the structure, I guess, is kind of like Chelsea was, where there's gonna be 2 panels. We're not going to do a lot. I'm never going to mention the Kardashians or Bieber or the Housewives because I don't give a fuck. But I will talk about things like, I just saw an article where the Boy Scouts have outlawed water guns. They don't let Boy Scouts. So my thing is like, when did we get so fucking soft, right? So it'll be more like social issues, but with funny people. So if you made Mar a little dumbed down a little bit, all the things that we want to tell. Look, my buddy admitted to his wife of 10 years that 6 years in, he got a hand job from a masseuse. A week later, she's divorcing him. 3 kids, 10 years in. I just want to talk about shit that I have an opinion about. These Instagram models who they fucked James Harden and then tweeted out a picture of him sleeping next to her. What the fuck? Things that I want to talk about, right? So that'll be, and then that third act, I won't do any interviews because I don't really care that much about that. I'm a really curious dude, so it's gonna be like a grown-up show and tell, man. I'm gonna have people come on the show and teach me how to do shit that I don't know how to do. That's what it'll be. And I'll have some of you guys join me. You guys will be up in the panel and stuff, but I'll have you guys join me too. I'm gonna do what I think is funny. Period. And you know my sense of humor. It's a little goofy sometimes. I would call it intelligently stupid.
You know sketches?
I will do some field pieces.
I'd love to do a sketch. We go into your house,
Mm-hmm.
and you're looking at your phone bill, just shaking your head.
You remember that?
And all of a sudden, your brother comes out of the room with a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken, grape Kool-Aid, everything black, and all of a sudden he puts it on the table, and you go, "Dog, who's been calling Compton?" Crenshaw. And he
Remember
goes,
that?
I don't know nobody in Crenshaw.
He did not walk out with chicken.
No.
No.
My brother taught in South
In
Central.
South Central, and he had a black girlfriend.
Yeah,
And he
I
was whole into the black
This is when we were doing we had to split our phone bills, and I was down to the fucking penny.
Crenshaw.
And
That's
remember,
when they used to charge you for calling Crenshaw.
Yeah, and I was like, "Hey, you got to pay this. You for calling Crenshaw." And he goes, "I didn't call Crenshaw." I go, "What?" He goes, "I don't know anybody in Crenshaw." I was like, "You teach in Crenshaw. That's where you teach."
Oh my God.
Remember, he was adamant, dude. I did not make those phone calls.
know about
Who did?
Who the fuck? Nobody else knows black people. I know black people at the Comedy Store. That's all I know.
Dude, you're coming on the show.
Yep. The 13th, right? No,
Yeah.
the Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday, who the fuck?
But we're
9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. Sunday the 14th at what time?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
Well, dude, a bunch of you guys that Tripoli's going to come on. Love Tripoli, Ryan Sickler. All guys that I think are fucking funny. Because why not? It's like you said, dude. I got however long I have to prove myself. Might as well do what I think makes
What
me
you
funny.
think? And
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, go from there.
How you doing, Lisa?
You all right, buddy?
I'm good.
You're looking good,
Yeah.
feeling good, Billy. When you got your little, whose shirt is that? Tell Joshua.
Is this the
That's his Suge Knight
Suge
shirt.
Knight shirt?
He looks like Suge Knight. That's what Suge Knight wore when Tupac got shot.
I mean, he's withering away. He's
No,
like
he's a bad motherfucker. And he went to jiu-jitsu Tuesday night to the
Yeah?
beginner class for
I
the
did
first
for the
time.
first time.
And
What
how
they
was
teach
that?
you?
Huh?
What
You-
they teach you?
Single and running the pipe. I don't know what it's.
And you knew how to do the single already. You
Theirs
remember?
was a little different. Wrestling, you have to kind of drop a knee and go. And
Were you a wrestler?
That's a very loose term.
Mhm.
I was on the team.
What were you
Doing-
wrestling at? Oh, wait.
I think I started high school 160, and by the end I was at 189.
Those little singlets, I fucking.
Wasn't
Yeah,
wasn't my
can't do
wasn't
it.
my senior
Best look?
picture.
Was your senior picture in the singlet?
No, God. No, my mom
Do you
would've
have
done-
any pictures of you in that singlet?
I hope not.
I think you should bring one in. I would fucking love to see that.
I'll have to go check.
I think you should change it and make it your Facebook profile pic.
Oh no,
Leave the poor guy alone. Look at him.
it's terrible. But
He's a
yeah,
fucking savage, this guy.
I went down with Zach last night, and it was awesome.
Was it good? How long was the class? An hour?
Hour and a half.
That's where I started, VMAC. It's a good little
Oh, right.
school. Right around the corner here. Good guys, good
You've been
young
taking
guys.
jujitsu for a while, though.
2 fucking years now.
Yeah.
Zach said you're the highest striped white belt.
Oh,
you got a
please.
ton of stripes.
Oh, please. I got 3 stripe white belt. I don't want to be a blue belt
Why
because
not?
I got to touch feet.
Oh, you don't
I
like
got to
that?
do leg locks and shit. I don't want
You're
people
out.
touching my feet. I got that fungi toe. Leave
Wait,
it alone.
when you get a massage, you don't let them rub your feet?
What's that?
When you get a massage, you don't let them rub your feet?
Well, who gets a massage?
You don't get a massage?
No.
After you work out? You don't let some little Thai woman walk on your back?
I go over here. There's a little fucking place on Lancashire. They do a $20 happy hour at lunchtime.
Yeah.
No hand jobbing them. They got the chairs.
Yeah.
You go in there. They soak. You ever go in there, Lee?
They soak your feet and then they
soak
rub your body.
feet, and you have your pants on, your
Yeah.
clothes on. She rubs
I mean,
my feet. Yeah.
it's one of those.
She puts
it's a
cream
happy,
on your
yeah.
legs. Yes, they put cream. They rub your
Yeah.
hands. They rub your
I'm saying,
shoulders.
so you don't let them rub your feet?
If they're ugly. Yeah, right over here by the house.
Yeah,
they have a
that's
little
what I'm
place
saying.
over there, right there by the little store, the general store.
Yeah.
In there, by the pizza place. They got a little massage in there. Fucking the chick, Tuesday and Thursday, the chick is really like a muscular Chinese woman.
Really?
So when she fucking digs into you,
Gets in there.
she digs in there. I should have gone today.
I've never gotten a massage.
Never.
No.
You should go over there. Let her beat
Well,
you
the
up a little
problem is
bit.
I don't
I'm on
want to
the
go.
tour.
I don't like people touching me. I don't like
Yeah.
people behind me. That's your asshole. That's your asshole exposed. They always got the drop on you. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much martial arts you know, if you got your face looking down and you're thinking about something else, your finger's gonna get in your ass.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna be caught, and they're gonna hold you down, And then a bunch of those Chinese people are going to come in and finger bang you, and you're sitting there going, no, no.
Oh my God.
And you're going to go, why'd this happen? Because I gave up my guard. You never give up your fucking back.
You don't switch governments.
I don't fucking switch governments. I don't give up my guard. Let me get some sponsors here and we'll get you out of here. Can't fucking do it. So the show premieres
June 11th. Thursday,
11th,
Friday, Saturday,
which is
Sunday.
next Thursday night at 11 o'clock. Please set your fucking VHRs. Do me the solid. Let's get this motherfucker the fuck
Lee,
up.
you're laughing at that, aren't you?
He got close.
You got what?
He was laughing at you said
You mixed
VHR.
VHS in DVR.
Whatever the fuck. DVR, VHS.
Hey, listen, if you got a VHS, I've set that
Well,
shit
hey,
too.
it works. It all goes to the numbers. It all goes to the same fucking place, cocksuckers.
Just make sure the VCR's on channel 3.
Get it together.
I mean, he loves the VCR bit.
Oh, he loves all that shit. Listen, I ain't fucking around with you people, all right?
You said 3 times today there would not be any edibles, and then we had like what, 175?
Do you mind if I do this right now? Don't worry
Frankly,
about the fucking edibles. You know,
I
we
mean,
go deep every day.
Visibly something has happened to him in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. Whatever that taffy is pretty strong.
That taffy's good.
Yeah,
I
and
told you.
and then the Green Hornet never.
And you don't want to do a star? I did a star.
I saw
By
that.
myself?
No, thank
Do
you,
a star with Uncle Joey.
dude. That's 125.
So what?
Josh.
What do you fucking care? What you got going on tomorrow? Nothing. That's it.
Living?
Living. Who gives a fuck about living? It's overrated.
Oh my God.
Mama coming over tomorrow?
Yeah.
What time?
After work.
Right then. Then what do you care? You can sleep all day and clean up your little Jew helmet. You'll be ready for it when she gets home. What's the matter? What the fuck is it that I want to say to you, motherfuckers? I forget right now. Those stars are coming on strong.
Are they coming out strong?
That
They're
and
coming on
everything else.
strong, but I just like I didn't get I had no game at all in high school. Like I remember I got blue balls for the first time after my senior prom, and everyone took a bus. Like we had taken limos in junior year, but senior year the school just had a bus for everybody.
Yeah.
And I was sitting next to my friend, and I was like, "What is happening to me?" Like I was like doubled over in pain. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's blue balls." Like that was like, I was a senior in high school. I didn't lose my virginity until, I think I was like 20 or 21.
Let me ask you a question. How much can you see right now with your eyes partially open?
Oh, I'm like
I'm
like George Costanza who
Yeah.
can squint. I can see everything.
Can you still see everything?
Oh yeah.
Because your eyes are like they're like in that picture right there.
Oh yeah, that's a perfect picture. I don't even notice that my eyes look like that.
Hey, you said something to me earlier this week that you have never said to me, that you and I have never talked about, and I couldn't believe you waited this long to say it. We were on the phone, and you said something to me. You said something to me 8 years ago, and it was kind of harsh. And I was like, you were like, because we were talking about Gavin, and you said, we talked on the phone about 8 years ago, and you said some shit to me that was pretty harsh, but I went back and thought about it and didn't take it personally. But you and I had never talked about that before. Like it has been like 8 years.
No, it was longer than that.
10 years?
Yeah, you were mad for a while. Everybody gets mad, but the drug thing kind of wore my welcome with a few people. And
Yeah.
You were one of them, There was just a few people. Rogan was real close to saying it. There were just a few people that were real close to saying it. But hold on, before you go there, I got to say something to you because I had no sexual experience, and I always mix up the dates. And then I went on a tear.
How old?
I had to be 15, and I finally virginized this one girl. And then I dated 2 more girls back to back that wanted no part of nothing, not even dry humping on the bathroom floor. I had one at a birthday party. I'm like, get on the floor, let me dry hump you. And she's like, I'm not getting on the floor. I'll never forget that. And then I got Carmine Balzano got me this job going into my sophomore year. Before I had to go to the hospital for my lung infection.
Yeah.
They got me this gig on a bus as a monitor. So when people went on trips, you had to give out 20 salami sandwiches and shit. But they were paying me like $800 a week. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those jobs. And there was this girl, and her name was Lydia. And you know when, and we've all had this experience that we've grown up with a girl, and all of a sudden we see her when she's 15 or 16. Well, this girl isn't just a fucking girl at 16. She's a fucking woman.
Curves, she get the whole thing.
Like, she's got the whole thing.
Right.
And you just look at her and go, oh my God, this girl is banging, but it'll never work out for me. So I had to spend a week up in this district, which was uptown, with this Lydia girl. And every day we went to Jones Beach, we went to a museum, and I gave out the sandwiches. And you know what? By Thursday, I'm flirting with her, and I got a chance. I never had a chance with a girl like this. But I don't just have a chance with her to make out with her. She's just talking about sex. And I'm like...
At this time, you using rubbers at all?
No, there was no rubbers in my life or in my future. It's 1979.
Oh, so no rubbers,
it's
no
the
rubbers.
summer of
Yeah.
79.
Okay, yeah.
It's probably July of 79. And that's exactly how it went down. For years, you struggle to have sex with people. You struggle to find the words. And one day, through a mistake, I said something to her, like, that bikini looks good on you or something. And she played me back. She goes, you got to see what's under it. And I remember saying, well, show it to me. And we went behind a bus, and she pulled, and there was a bush of hair. And I was like, and I didn't know. And then the next day I saw it, and I'm like, well, you going to let me touch that thing? And she's like, come on. And we went around, and I touched it. Then, like, the next day I went back, and we swapped spit, and I sucked the titties. And I'm like, so when are we going to do this? And she's like, wait till we get back. My brother has a basement. It was Josh, it was like the weirdest fucking thing. And sure enough, you know how somebody lies to you?
Yeah.
And you call them Friday, I can't meet you, I'm done. No, here's the address. Went over there, her brother left us. We went downstairs.
The brother left?
Yeah, we got, like, the brother was 22 and she was like maybe 15. You know, if I was 50, I was like 15, 16.
Yeah.
But she was in the North Bergen school system. I had never met her before, and I had never heard of this savage before. Like, she was a savage.
She lived near you. She went to your school.
I lived on, my mom was still alive, and she lived on 86th Street or something. And it was fucking crazy. I took a bus up there, met her, went downstairs, took her panties off, tons of hair. You know, we never...
You missed that bush a little bit.
We
then.
never...
You missed the big bush.
We never went down on each other.
No?
Like, at that age, no. We just got together, no condom, boom. And then, by the time I got to high school, she was gone. Like, she was that much older than me, and she was gone. Never a letter. Never never a song. Never a signature. A boo. Nothing. Nothing. Just broke. Not even broke my heart. It was the weirdest thing. And till this day, it's every once in a while.
Are you sure she even existed?
Yeah, yeah.
She was like a pixie.
It was like a month relationship that was all dirty. Like, we went to the movie one time. Like, I tried to turn it into a, if you know anything
dating,
about
yeah.
me, yeah. I took it to a movie or something.
You ever date somebody or hook up with somebody, and after you hook up with them, they had something about them that they probably should have let you know ahead of time? The one and only time I've ever been with a girl who squirted, right? And I went down on her. And I had heard of a squirter before, but I'd never, like, do you know what I mean? And when that shit came out,
It's tremendous.
no, but my mouth was open, and I didn't know exactly. I wasn't expecting it. Do you know what I mean? But if you're a squirter, that's something you kind of got to let somebody know going into the game. Like,
Fuck no, that's a surprise.
no, it's
If
not
I'm
a
a
cracker
squirter,
jack.
I ain't telling you nothing.
You are a squirter.
Yeah, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to squirt and then go, oops,
No.
oops.
I was like, you just got to let somebody know, because I was not expecting that at that. Have you ever been with a squirter?
No, I've never been with one. Like, I think I would prefer the way Joey squirter. Like, if I was gonna be with a squirter, I'd prefer to be with one like Joey, who would just like surprise me with
Yeah,
it.
you want to be surprised by
No,
a
you don't
squirter.
want to be.
Yes, you
No,
do.
you don't.
You don't ever want nobody to tell you nothing.
Well, I guess it kind of depends on the girl. Like, was it like a girl you didn't want to have sex with?
No, let me ask you something.
No.
If you're going down on a girl and you're a young man, right?
Right.
And squirting isn't in your brain, and all of a sudden a wave of stinky bathwater hits you in the face, you're not going to be surprised. Like,
No,
you don't want to know?
Well, because here's the thing: I grew up with pornography essentially, so Like it's almost like it would be like a hidden surprise. It'd be like an Easter egg that I'd be like, yeah, I found one.
Look at Lee cracking puns and shit. Look at Lee. You
I know,
filthy
really.
animal.
So I never found one.
You got a prize, Lee.
Oh, you got a star for that
You got a
comment?
star for that comment.
Are you?
Ding, 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 ding.
How are those going?
These are tremendous. There you go.
Now, do you remember when he first started? When he first started, what was happening?
He was a nice little boy.
Yeah.
He didn't bother nobody.
No,
he
and
still
look-
don't bother nobody.
Oh, these are.
Smell them. Just smell those fucking things. Just smell those things.
Oh my
God.
God.
Sure, eat one. Go ahead. Try one. You like it. Try one. You like it.
Yeah, that's probably not a great idea.
Eat half of it. Eat half.
Yeah.
Eat 2 tentacles. That's it.
That's
it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens later in the day when I'm.
So Josh, this is my 6th one today.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Give me the other
I'm
half.
supposed to go hang out with the kid.
You go like this.
That's your 6th one today.
Yeah.
And that's my 5.5 one.
I mean, and you guys just sit here.
Like nothing happened. We're in training. Jack.
Yeah, you training
Listen,
hard.
ISIS kicks in the door. The Russians were in training. They can't do nothing.
No, they're not getting in here.
We've been averaging 1,100 milligrams a day now for a week.
Stop it.
Oh yeah, no wonder my kidneys are fucked up.
1,100 a day. Mm-hmm. Is that what you're at too? 1,100 a day?
I'm at 1,200 right now.
On the weekends, he eats 850 just to keep him in line. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Just to keep you in shape.
yeah.
What's your girlfriend? Is she on board?
Yeah, well, she is a little bit, but she is looking for lawyer jobs right now, so she can't really do it. But it stinks because when I go get it, like I get it for like her and me, and she needs like 1 red star maybe, and I need about 6 purple ones, 2 red ones.
Some acid, little mushrooms.
There's only 2 things we're eating now. These and those cushy things. That's
Cushy
the
Punch, yeah.
Those cushy punch are fucking.
I don't even know what those are.
Oh.
What are those?
It's a gummy bear. It basically, if it's 100 milligrams or 200 milligrams, it's 4 cubes. So if it's 100, it's 25. It's 200, it's 50.
Do you remember the weed you used to smoke?
Yeah.
Do you remember like you could smoke 2-3 joints and just be like, maybe you get a headache?
He still does smoke 2
We
or
still
3
do.
joints.
We
No,
still do.
but without getting high. You could
Oh,
smoke
yeah.
2 or 3 joints without getting high.
You don't know what we did before you got here today. Smell this. That's what.
Oh my god.
Yeah. This is. We got.
Is this where Owen Benjamin walked around the neighborhood?
This is it.
Is this the neighborhood he walked around in?
Yeah.
He told me, he was like, I walked out and never fucking came back.
No.
He never came back.
No. He was like Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, he said he never fucking came back.
He couldn't.
Did you know he was in trouble? Could you tell by looking at him?
Yes, there was a couple of points. There was 2 or 3 people I've looked at that I could tell that they gone. Ada, we were having a great time, and she just took one and ate one without even she just took one.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, she's a tall cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And about 30 minutes later, I saw her eyes go, like it was real. Like when you see it, you go, oh shit, oh shit. Like I've seen. Remember that? Remember in what was the movie when they took a shopping, The Devil's Advocate, when they took Clarice Theron shopping, and they would put the dresses over their head, and all of a sudden they go ah, and she would go oh. That's what happens with this shit. Like it just comes to you little by little at first.
But you love that shit.
Oh yeah, I love to be in fear.
Yeah,
it's
you
like my
love
life.
it. You fucking love
You know,
that
I
shit.
think about it like I think Rogan and Segura broke it down once, and they're like, it's a great way for a comic to live. And I thought about it. That was from 80 to 95. That's how I lived.
Yeah.
I loved living that. At any time, somebody can knock on that door and say, dog, what happened to the $2,000 from that gambling debt?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You saw it.
Oh.
You saw it. You lived it.
I lived it.
You
I
lived
lived
it.
it. Yeah.
You know, at that time, Lee, anything could happen.
Yeah.
I remember, Lee, it being, it's the fuck. I get separated October of 91, and I go on a tear for 18 months. Credit cards, bongos. I finally have to start selling everything I could, like neon, membership to a mob.
Yeah.
But there was a kid I was working that was a nice kid that kept coming to me going, dog, if you ever had any good investments.
No.
Yes. And I was nurturing him.
But by the way, you're really good at that.
Oh, we were talking about that.
You're really good at that.
But before we get to that, there's something I do got to tell you. Lee, by the way, were you at the No, you weren't at the conversation. Kept me up all night. Last week, by the way, happy Rosh Hashanah.
Thank you.
Last week, I took a long-distance flight. I'm sitting in first class. I get upgraded. I don't bother. You know, when you get upgraded on a New York flight, you don't say nothing to nobody.
Nope.
I'm sitting there. I see 3 empty seats. The one next to me and 2 over there. Guess who sits next to me? 50 cents. Sits in the window aisle, goes to sleep. I don't say 2 words. It don't got nothing to do with me. So now I can't go to sleep. I got a few stars in me. I got the iPod in. I'm excited. I want to see who's going to in those last 2 seats. And all of a sudden, I get caught up. My wife calls me, whatever. The flight's a 6 a.m. flight out of LAX to Kennedy, my favorite, because you're going to Delta One and shit.
Perfect.
What? You're like, what? What?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, I'm sitting there, and who is it but 2? And Lee, I fucked up. I've been slipping. My racially whatever skills are low, especially when it comes to Hasid Jews. So there was one 400-pound Hasid Jew with the whole thing, and his son, Stinky, with a fucking broken foot, comes on, toes exposed, the whole thing. Just 2 stink bombs complaining from the time they get on. Just complaining from the time. The guy is round. He tucks his shirt in.
Yeah.
Before the plane takes off, he puts the vest on. He ties the ropes around his arm with the flashlight.
Yeah.
Him and his son before the plane take off.
It's not a flashlight. Just
Okay,
say
whatever on his head. Okay, whatever. Listen to
I love
me.
how you describe. I like it better that way.
Oh my
Ropes
god!
and a flashlight.
Oh my god! He looked like they were doing pornography with
Yeah.
the ropes around their arm. So now they sit down. Can I have coffee? Okay, they get coffee. You get complimentary coffee in first class. Okay. So him and his son are drinking coffee. They going. The plane's going. Okay, well everybody shut down. Boom. Okay, everybody. We're headed to the thing. The plane doesn't even get to the runway. I think something cut it off. The plane goes. He spills the coffee. Excuse me. He's working it already from the gum. He's like, I spilled my coffee on my new dry cleaning. Somebody has to take care of the dry cleaning. Is there an upgrade available? You know, the plane hasn't even gone into the air.
And he's already talking upgrade?
Upgrade. Already me. I'm a professional. I already know that if I would have owned Delta, I would have checked to see who this guy was. Because for every dollar you take from this, he's going to charge you double in time and aggravation. Plus, he's going to take everything he's got. But they did 2 genius moves that I didn't figure out till the other night about 3 in the morning. I got high, and I fucking figured out what these 2 Hasidics do. They're fucking beautiful. People talk about those people. What's that movie with Brad Pitt that they're hustlers?
Ocean's 11?
No. The fucking one when they're boxers and they live, those people that he represents, they're fucking some type of Irish people that are even, they're gypsies.
Snitch.
They're
Stitch.
gypsy. They're gypsy.
Yeah.
Stitch.
Snitch.
Stitch. Whatever the fuck.
Snatch.
Snatch.
Yeah.
They're gypsies. And
Yeah.
they said, they'll double cross you. Listen, I didn't catch the double cross until 2 weeks later what the Hasidic Jews did to him.
I'm surprised I didn't get a
Why?
call.
What'd they do? What's the
during
double
Okay,
cross?
what's the first call you got? Listen, before the plane took off, they already asked for a fucking upgrade. The plane took off. Okay, the plane's up in the air. The black guy gets a pad with your name on it. He walks right up to him and he goes, "Is this ta-ta-ba-ta-ba and your son ta-ta-ta-ta?" And he goes, "Yes." What do you think the first thing out of this guy's mouth was? He said, "Do you have my kosher meal?" And all of a sudden the black guy goes into a frenzy. Kosher? Right? I mean, he cracks him. First thing out of the gate.
Yeah.
He cracks him with the kosher meal. Cracks me too. I'm like, I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Shit. And all of a sudden the guy's like, no, we don't. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to talk to management. Upgrade for me and my son. And he's already working it, dog. Wow, whipping him. Let me get 2 blankets. I want a hat. You know, I want the hat. He's working him. He's working him. Just working him with whips and chains. Well, guess what?
At 6 in the morning?
Well,
Yeah.
guess what, Lisa?
Did he get everything he wanted?
No. He tormented them. He got everything. Then the food came, and he goes, instead of no kosher menus, he got to pick and choose from 2 other menus, and they ate everything. But here's the most disgusting thing: they had a bag of food, not a bag, a black bag.
Yeah.
They had a bag of just egg salads and everything. Like they didn't need the food they were complaining about.
Right.
Now at the end of this 40-minute eat-a-thon, the guy gets up after being up and down, praying, wrapping stuff around his arm, talking to his son in Hebrew. He goes to the bathroom and he stays in there, takes a 40-minute shit.
No.
That the whole first class and the people in the
you
first
can't do
10
that.
rows
No.
are in jeopardy.
No.
They're like, when is this guy going to come out? And what's that ass going to smell like?
no.
The guy couldn't fit into the bathroom like front ways. He had to turn around and go backwards. You have no idea. The thing opens, he comes out, he walks out like, hi, and all of a sudden the fucking one black stewardess just slams that door. And they come out and they're spraying. Oh my God, I felt so bad for them, Joshua. But I figured out the whole scam. They never ordered kosher food.
No.
That was just to get the fucking guy ruffled up and shit.
Yeah.
And the son's foot wasn't broken. They just put a cast on his foot just to fucking let him
you
know
know,
that.
we used to do that at Disneyland.
Yeah. What, put a cast on the kid's
Oh,
foot?
yeah. The kids they used to get to pick which one of them wanted to be handicapped for the day.
There you go.
We used to do that all the time.
There you go.
We used to pick.
Who the fuck you think you're dealing
Yeah.
with? Something happened there because he's chubby. He didn't want to be embarrassed, so he made the son put on a fake fucking cast.
And they
Because
fake
I
cast.
saw it wasn't a cast. It wasn't a real white cast. It was a blue one that you put together at home like luggage. Who the fuck you think you're dealing with? And I told Matt Lotman this. I go, Matt Lotman, they never even ordered the kosher meal. They said that to get the guy ruffled up from the jump. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. You see? When you do blow for 3 days, Lee,
Right.
and then you sleep for a day, what do you think when you wake up happens the first thing you wake up that time?
I don't
Tell
know.
him, Josh Wolf. Tell him.
You have a bunch of boogie snots. They're sugar boogers.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And the first thing you do as you're pissing and looking at yourself in the mirror and looking at whoever fell asleep in your house with doing blow is as you're pissing, you're already taking the toilet paper out. And you snap it and you blow your nose. And anybody who's done cocaine has looked at that first blow in the morning. I would take that fucking snot. I wouldn't even blow it. I'd blow it into my hand like a savage. And it would come out and I'd peel those last roots out. Like you gotta peel those last pieces out.
I do like when there's roots.
And
I'll
there
be
was-
honest
and
about
there was-
that. It does feel good.
And there was chunks of coke. I mean, you want me to lie to you? I can't, I did it, and I did it mostly when I snorted blow. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that shit. What, just after the conversation we had, I thought for an hour, like, the rises of us that we had, the falls, the shows, the what could haves, we're still here 23 years later. And Brody's been here 20 of those years with us. I mean, this is pretty fucking cool that we're still here.
You sent me that picture of our first lineup together.
Yeah. We're still at the store last night. You had a 10 to 9. I had a 10 to 9. Just to think that this started 23 years ago and nobody knew what the fuck we were doing. Nobody really knew.
But here's what happened is like the quitters lose. That's basically what happened. When we first started, everybody's about as funny. Do you know what I mean?
Everybody's the same. I
Everybody's-
always say that.
All right.
Listen, there's no... The funniest person on the planet, his name is Ace Frehley. That's the
Yeah.
funniest human being on the planet today. He's a top up there with Dave Chappelle.
But it's hard work, and then it's who's going to keep going. That's what it is. When you sent me that picture of that first lineup we were on, there was only 3 names that are still doing comedy: me, you, and Chappelle. That was the other name on the list of people still doing comedy. That was it.
But here's what happens. People come out here, they come out with a dream, and they get a time set. And they give themselves a time set or something, and they stick out the Comedy Store for 10 years, and things don't happen. You know what, Josh? Well, they go back to St. Louis. They hook up with family again. And if they're real comics, they find a way to make a living. They came, they saw, they conquered as long as they could. Steve Cooper wrote a beautiful... Steve Cooper said, after 20-something years, my dream didn't come true. I didn't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I got to meet a nice people. I'm going back to Philadelphia and live like a normal human being. He gave it a try. He had a podcast. It was successful. I see he's still alive on Facebook. He's still...
But here's the
That's
thing.
the thing is we kept. What's that word?
We kept persevering. We kept going, dude.
No, but there's something else.
You know what we kept doing is we kept evolving. See, a lot of people come and they say, this is what we do and this is what I do, and they don't evolve as artists. You're so much different, dude, as a comic and just like as an artist and as a creative thinker. Then you can sit down and write now.
Yeah, I love it now.
But you never could.
I'm ready to go now.
You could never, ever, ever do that. Sit down and write? Fuck no.
I'm reading this book that's making me a writing Nazi. So today I went down there, and even if it was old jokes, I wrote them out just to see where the gaps were, my timing. I gotta go to work, Josh. Well, we want to get to the next fucking Sentinel here.
But
And
that's the difference.
I like giving people a good show. When that half hour is not there, I feel fucking guilty. If I give you the first half hour and it's new, fuck it, let's rock and roll. I don't even want you to see my full hour because I want to shoot a fucking special anyway.
Right.
So I'm not showing up with no fucking new hour for you because half of it's going to be on the special. Let me show up with 30 minutes of new shit that's going to blow your mind and 20 minutes of old shit or old clothes or whatever. I can accept that.
But that's what you were saying earlier on the phone when you were talking about the difference between being able to tour with an album. We don't tour. Once you put out that special, you can't do it again.
We tour to develop that album,
Yeah.
and then we put the tour out. We put the special out, and you've already seen 3/4 of the material,
Right?
Because you were there in Buffalo the week before we fucking shot it. So those 2,000 people that came to that weekend.
Also, the people throughout the year or year and a half, however long it took you there, you've been working that material on the road. When you put out a special, they're like, "Oh, we fucking saw that. We saw that special." Whereas with musicians, they tour on. They put out the album first, and they tour on their album. It's completely opposite, right?
Well, I mean, don't you think? What I would think it has to do with is that comedy has to do with surprise mostly. Do you think once it goes down, like there are some specials that hold up, but I think most of them, the first time you watch it's going to be the best time.
But do you think people want to come and hear jokes from the special? Do you think some people want to hear some of the jokes from the special?
1,000% I do.
I go back to music. And I say to myself, you know what? In fact, I was listening to somebody the other day, and they went to see Metallica. Mm-hmm. One of those guys on Ozzy's Boneyard, and he said, you know what? I was very disappointed because they played all new stuff. I wanted to hear puppets or whatever, and this and destruction. And, people go to Led Zeppelin, they don't want to hear new shit. They want to hear Stairway to Heaven, rock and roll.
Joe,
they want to hear.
We saw Bob Dylan. He didn't play one hit, one fucking hit. He played out at that concert out in the desert last year with Dylan and the Stones and the Who and all those guys, right? So we went and saw, and I was not too excited to see Dylan, but I wanted, as long as he's alive, let's go say and we've seen him. He didn't play one hit. He didn't play one song that anybody knew. No, he played Tangled Up in Blue, but he rearranged it to the point, and I was like, what the fuck is he doing here? We don't want to hear your new. If the Who had come out and played a new album, we'd have been like, no. Who's next? Who are you? That's what we want. That's what we came to hear, though.
I want you to open up with 3 songs that blow my fucking heart apart, and then take a warm-up, talk to us for 5 minutes, and say, listen, we're telling you people first. We're taking the Who on the road next year. This is one of the new songs on the album that's nobody heard. We love you, Indiana. Dun, 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 dun.
By the way, that's what the Stones did.
That's how you sell a new song. You don't sell a new song like that. I used to get fucking pissed when a band that I wanted to go see, and I had a thing in my mind what they were going to open up with, and they opened up with something different because I heard the night before in Philly they opened up with this. Like in those days, you found out. In Philly they opened up with fucking whatever, Hell Bent for Leather. You're like, all right, they're gonna open up with Hell Bent for Leather in the city, and all your buddies and you would go, and they'd be like, say no, they're gonna open up with Scream with a Vengeance, but you knew you heard it the night before. They're opening up with Hell Bent for Leather, and you'd all be waiting to see what the answer was, and all of a sudden, fucking Hell Bent for Leather, and your buddies go, fuck you, how'd you know? Fuck you think you're dealing with, bitch? I called Philadelphia last night, you know what I'm saying?
The one thing I don't like, though, with comedians, I don't mind if you do stuff from the special on the road, but I don't like if you do, like, one special, and then the next special has the same jokes as the first special.
I've never seen that before.
Oh, I have.
Who?
I don't want to speak bad of him because he was very nice to me, but John Panette, he had a couple specials that were just
Rest his soul.
he was very nice.
Funny fucking guy.
You know, he was hysterical. And the reason why it hurt me so much was because that was my family sat down and watched that special. I Say Nay Nay Nay. That was one of the funny. I still watch it now. It's hysterical.
But it's also different, like, because if you go see Journey and they don't play, you know, Don't Stop Believing, whatever your song is, you're gonna be fucking mad. But if you go see Chappelle, do you want to hear a joke you've already heard, or do you want to hear what he's got now?
Okay, I'm a fan of Chappelle since before the fucking
Show.
The show.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember one of his albums before that or something, and that was it. I saw 2 of the 3 specials that are on Netflix, but let's pretend I was a fan of Chappelle from the show, and I was paying $65, $70 for these tickets. I know Chappelle is brilliant enough that he's going to do the first 30 is new stuff. Because Chappelle could do that. He does it every night.
Mm-hmm.
His first 30 is always new. So you got nothing to lose.
No.
He takes you one direction for 25 minutes, an old joke. He redoes it. What do you give a fuck? The audience is laughing. The show's over. That's what you went to see. You know, if you go on the Borgata webpage, I'm the cheapest ticket for a comic. There are comics there that charge a lot of money. And I gotta tell you something, I got some badass credits. And they got a lot of money. I could have raised those tickets. But I don't see it. They're talking themselves out of a market.
Dude, you know I used to tour Larry the Cable Guy, right? So his theory was always his ticket was never more than $47.50. Didn't matter where the seat was, didn't matter anything. $47.50 was the price of the ticket, because his deal was I would rather have more fans. I don't want to I don't want to give a $100 ticket. I'd rather sell 10,000 tickets at the 50 than 5,000 tickets at the 100, because 1, more fans, but 2, that's twice as many people buying merch. Do you know what I mean? And like, you're not pricing people out. You're not making them feel bad about buying the ticket. No, that's the smart thing to do, because you keep your fans. Your fans never think that you're raising the prices above them. It's definitely the way to go. But dude, he used to do. I mean, he sold 53,000 tickets. He sold out that Cornhusker Stadium because he couldn't do the whole stadium because the stage was up against one of the walls. He sold 53,000 fucking tickets.
Dave Chappelle.
Larry the Cable Guy. 53,000 in that stadium, and then he donated the tickets, whatever he made off the tickets, to a charity. Didn't keep his cut. He donated it all. 53,000 on the 4th of July.
What do you do after
They postponed the fireworks until the next night because he did it on the 4th, and everybody in the town was in. I think I'm remembering that right. Somebody might correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. They moved it one night because he wanted to do his show on the 4th of July. That's how many fucking people were there. They moved the fireworks. Oh, and dude, somebody, this old dude was parachuting into the stadium, right? Pretending to be him, right? And dressed like him. And it was his last jump out of a plane ever, right? And this was his big retirement jump. So he jumps out of the plane, he's dressed as Larry, and you hear the voiceover, "I'm coming down, everybody," you know, whatever it is. And then the wind kicks up, and we're like, oh no. You could see him start to do the pulleys, you know what I mean? And we're like, no, he's going to overshoot this, because he's supposed to land on the grass, hit the grass running, run behind the stage, and then take the parachute off, and then Larry runs out on stage dressed the same way. So it looks like he overshot the grass by about 15 yards and landed straight into the empty cement bleachers. Broke his coccyx. You know that thing that basically I think is your pelvic bone, right? The coccyx. But the show couldn't start until he got up and ran behind the stage. So we're watching the wind go, and I'm like, oh, he's not going to make it. And he's starting to do the pulley things, and he hits that cement. And everyone in the stands thought it was like part of the thing. So everyone in the stadium was like, And we were all like, oh no. And he kind of, you could see him kind of struggle to get up, and he kind of waves his hand over because he's got a broken coccyx. But everyone on the production team's like, no, you got to come over here, right?
Oh my god.
Dude rolls over.
Hollywood's the worst.
And listen, rolls over. This was his retirement jump. He was like 68 years old, right? This is where he was going to wave goodbye to everybody.
They're going to let him die in that
He crashes into the bleachers, and he finally makes it behind and collapses, and they fix up his whatever, pull him out in a fucking ambulance. But that poor old fella, that was his last jump.
I bet there was someone in the ambulance. Like, I know you hurt yourself, but next time you really should have just ran a little faster.
Oh no, you should. When the wind kicked up, everybody in production was like, "This is not going to end well for this guy. This is not good for him." But doing comedy in front of that many people was terrible. I think that the comedy's not made for that size crowd, because the laughter would come, and then I'd start my joke again, and then the laughter would come from the people that far away.
I can't see it. I don't care how big you get it. That's just a little too big for me. You don't have control.
No. What's the size you like the most?
400 seats in a small comedy club with bricks.
Yeah.
Old school, like the Underground. You know, I know there's a lot of comics that listen to the show.
That Comedy Underground was my favorite room ever.
There's a lot of young comics that listen to this show. And I applaud you for trying comedy and sticking with it. And, you know, I know where the fuck, we both know where the fuck you are. I still remember it being 1996. And the black dude who played the piano for Stephanie Thing came up to the Underground on Fridays and Saturdays. Whenever Fridays and Saturdays with a big comic came, me and Josh would always wiggle our way into that fucking... into that thing. This is 1997.
One
people.
of us had 96. That MC spot.
This is 21 years ago, people. Just to let you know how hard you got to stay in this. We're talking about living in a shitty apartment. We're talking about I lived in a car.
You remember Mark's dog? Remember Mark Gardner? I lived with Mark Gardner, and his dog used to just shit in the living room. Do you remember that Dalmatian? That fucking Dalmatian.
I walked into the house and it was so dirty. I ran back to Carol and told her I loved her.
He used to let his dog shit in the living room when we were watching TV.
He was cooking that black stuff, the bones with all the grass in it.
Oh my god!
You have no idea. And I was doing sports booking out of there, sports betting.
Yeah.
In the back room, and that's when the guys called me and threatened me and shit. If you keep doing it, we're gonna fly out there and fuck you up. You know, it's just to let you people know what the real struggle. And we're still here. This is fucking real. He moved to LA maybe 6 or 7 months before I did. And we used to go down to remember we used to pick up Stanhope, and we'd go down to the Improv together in the car.
Right.
I mean, this is 1997.
What street did Stanhope live on?
Kursan.
That's right.
You were on
Vista.
Vista. Ralphie was on Schrader, and Nick DiPaolo and Mitch Hedberg were on where Chibo is.
Yeah.
This is a comedy fucking neighborhood. And when I told people we'd go down to Gorky Park. When we moved there, Gorky Park had nickel bags. You could buy weed down there. And we would go down there and play tennis. Me and Doug and Mitch Hedberg. We go there and play tennis. Fuck yeah. 20 fucking years of comedy, people.
You, Doug, and Mitch playing
growth,
tennis.
man.
Yeah.
This was a big fucking growth.
When we were first starting, when you first got here, what was your goal for sets per week? I know you had.
Listen, when I first got here, I was very scared, but I knew I had an out with Carol. You know, I had an out. I was putting away a little money. I would clip her every night for an extra $50 from the stocking. When she stripped, I had to tax her. So I had a little put away, you know.
But wait, you didn't have.
No.
But when you first started, because you kept that notebook, man. We all had. I kept a notebook about every set and what I did and all that shit.
Yeah, no.
And for me, I wanted to do 7 sets a week. That was the goal to hit.
At that time, I came from Colorado, where I was doing 4 sets a week, and I drove 8 hours to do those sets.
Yeah, but you were doing more than 4 sets in Seattle.
In Seattle, I went up to 30 sets a month.
Yeah.
And we were fucking working. Monday, the Underground, then we went to that bar up top where there was cages, and we used to do comedy up there.
Yeah, that was
Monday night.
Was that Dave Henderson's batting cage place? Was that?
No, it was no batting cage. There were the cages where women go into.
Oh,
The cages.
that's right.
It was a very bourgeois type of place
That's
on Monday
right.
nights. So we leave the underground open mic, which was a fucking, when I think of the underground, if I close my eyes and I think hard about the underground open mic on Monday, how can you describe that? That was
Well, the first thing I think of is Carl. Honestly,
woman hoping. Yeah.
honestly, the first thing I think of is Carl and his little what was that hat called? Not a fedora, but the thing the French.
And guys, he was brilliant. He would help you write.
I don't wear French hats. I'm
He
sorry.
would help you
he's
write
so
jokes.
good.
He would comment on your sets, whether they were good or bad. Sometimes he'd comment negatively.
He would bust your balls a
Yeah,
little
you
bit
should
too.
get rid of that joke.
He was yeah.